say we out here grinding, we working. I say we out here grinding, we working. I say we out here grinding, we working. I say we out here grinding, we working. Tell me how to do it and I do. Fueling my ambition like I'm filling up a pool. Ain't my choice, but it's up to me to choose. Hammer out my goals like I'm working with my tools. On the same page like the headline knows. Even Jimmy Fallon couldn't shake me out my roots. Best foot forward like we dancing with a groove. We gon' stay grinding till we all make a move. Hey guys, this week for our career talk video, we will be hearing from several different people that work in what I'm referring to as the utility industry. To give you a little bit of information regarding utilities, so you have some background knowledge before you hear their interviews, I just want you to think about what you need in your house to be able to survive. So in my house, and I don't mean like ice cream, because I really think I need ice cream to survive, but I don't know if I do. In my house, I need the lights on because I don't like it when it's dark, and I can't really work when it's dark. So I need to be able to turn the lights on. I do need some food, like I need fruits and vegetables and some meat, maybe eggs, things like that. And that stuff mostly needs to stay cold. So I need something to keep my refrigerator cold so I can keep my food edible. I need water to drink and flush my toilet. And I really like warm water for showers. So I need something to warm up my water so that I can take a shower. I need to be able to cook. So I have to be able to maybe use my stove or a grill so that I can cook the food that I'm going to try and keep in my refrigerator. I also need someone to collect my trash, because if I'm saving all my food and I'm eating it and then I have some trash left over, I need that to go somewhere, because I don't want the trash to stay in my house, and I certainly don't want the trash to stay in my yard. So I need something to do with the my trash and recycling. Now, what is going to do all those things? Who's going to turn my lights on? Who's going to keep my refrigerator cold? And who's going to turn my stove on? Oh, and in the winter, I need heat. I don't like to be cold. So I need to make sure I have heat. Who keeps my heat on? And you're probably thinking, this is what you keep your heat on. But I don't. I pay the bill to keep my heat on, but there's nothing I can do besides paying the money to keep my lights on and keep my water warm or my heat on. I can't turn my stove on if it wasn't for a company. And those companies are what I'm talking about when I say utilities. They're the gas company, the electric company, the water company, even the trash and recycling. So those are what we're going to be talking about today as utilities. And now you're probably thinking, but wait, why are you talking about gas and electric when you were just talking about your lights and ice cream? Because the gas, electric, water, trash companies, they're how we make all of those things work in our house so that we can survive. The electric company, they have those wires outside when you're driving or walking down the road and you see those big poles. When I was a kid, we called them telephone poles because the telephone lines were all connected. And when you had that phone connected to the wall, a landline, you had to have the telephone lines. So I still call them the telephone poles. Those really big poles outside out of wood, and they have all those wires connected. Those wires are electricity. And the wires then connect from your house to the pole, and the pole to your neighbor's house, and your neighbor's house to the next pole and the next neighbor. And it keeps going all through the whole city and all through the whole world. The wires that come to your house are connected all throughout your house to more wires, and then your electrical panel
It's probably in your basement or maybe your garage or your kitchen, it depends. And in there's a bunch of different switches. And the switches are generally switched on. And you probably never see it because you should never touch it. It's not safe for kids to touch. But that system right there controls all of the electricity coming into your house and how your house is using it. So every time your grown-up plugs something into an outlet, that's using electricity. When you turn on your TV or your Xbox, that's using electricity. When you set your alarm in the morning on your phone, if you don't plug your phone in, your alarm won't go off. So your phone needs to use the electricity that's coming from those power lines to charge. And then we have the big power companies that are in charge of making sure the electric is getting to those power lines. And the power lines then, it's getting to your house. So that's not Mrs. Wight. Even though I'm paying the bill, I have to pay that to a company that is making the electricity and then sending it off. I also pay for water, and that comes into my house from underground. Right here in Allentown, the water lines are under the streets. So kind of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when you think of them in the sewers underneath, that's kind of similar with our water. There's all these giant pipes under the water that are bringing the water to everyone's house or apartment, wherever you live, and to businesses and schools, things like that, from the water company. Then we also have natural gas or maybe propane. Those are gas lines or the propane tanks outside. And you can have a really big propane tank that someone has to come and fill. Or I have like a little propane tank that attaches to my grill so I can cook outside. But a lot of people here in Allentown have what we call natural gas. And that's also lines under the ground that bring gas into your house. And not gas like smelly gas or gas for your car. This is gas that heats up water so that you can have a warm shower with your hot water heater. Or it heats up your whole house. If you have gas heat, maybe in a radiator. We also use the gas to turn my stove on. So in my kitchen, there's pipes behind it that connect to the pipes in the basement, so that when I go to turn the gas stove on and you hear that little flicker and then you see the flame, that's the gas coming out so that I can cook. So I can cook right on my stove. We also have, trash and recycling in the city of Allentown. I'm considering that part of utilities because we really need that to survive. If everyone just held onto their own trash and recycling or threw it in their backyards or in the streets, that would be nasty and that would not be safe or healthy, and it would be really bad for the environment. So I think we really need trash and recycling to help us survive. So now that we have a clear understanding of what the utilities are, the following speakers that you're going to hear from today work for different utility companies. You're going to hear from someone that works for an electrical company, someone that works for a propane company, and someone that works for a trash company. Hopefully they'll give you a little bit of insight into their careers in the different utility fields. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, the last slide in the video does have the pictures and corresponding contact information for all of the elementary school counselors. So as always, reach out, send a message, comment, whatever you got to do. We are always here for you, and that is our main priority still while we're at home. All right, I'll see you next week.
Hi guys, my name is Jessica and I work for Nolan Propane, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the office and how the delivery and service guys and how we're deemed essential for during this COVID-19. The office will take phone calls, will process payments, start new account forms for customers, and we would dispatch service and delivery tickets to the guys out in the field. So we're going to start with the delivery truck guys. They are CDL trained to have a CDL license. They have safety training and, of course, on-the-job training all the time. These guys deliver to the propane tanks every day, and we go all over the place in New York. We also service appliances with our service guys. They do heating, hot water, cooking, and other propane products such as generators, pool heaters, so many more. My guys out in the service field have many on-the-job training classes, safety classes, install classes, and also they would need a CDL too, because sometimes they help in the big delivery trucks too. My guys are doing an amazing job right now with the COVID-19 and practicing social distance, but also taking the time and making sure everybody is safe and also getting the appliances repaired or brand new installs because you need heat, hot water, and ranges to cook on. I gotta say my guys have been doing an amazing job lately with everything going on. They've been staying safe themselves, wearing masks, gloves, safety glasses for some, and they've been doing their distance away from people but still getting the job done that is needed. What I like about my job and also the job of the service guys and the delivery guys is there's a lot of things you don't know until you start. But propane is such a big industry that there was a lot of stuff that I did not know until I started. And a lot of it is just the simple mechanics of a heating system to how big the size of a tank, anywhere from a small barbecue tank, which is considered a 20-pounder, by the way, or up to a 1,000-gallon tank, or even the bigger tanks for storages that we actually pump into the delivery trucks to deliver.
Hi everybody, my name's Craig Lineberry, and I am Mrs. Kate Griffin's uncle, and she asked me to do this for you guys. So my job title is I am a first-class lineman in the EC&M department for MedEd, and EC&M stands for Electrical Construction and Maintenance. And what I do is I work at all our substations, and I also work in downtown Easton where the power wires are underground, so they're underneath the street where you see manhole covers. And what we do is testing on equipment and repairing lines that fail. And I believe they consider my job to be essential at this time, because if anybody would lose power, which we don't want, I will be there to help put that power back on, so you guys would all have power at your houses and nobody would be out of business that way. What made me choose this career was I always liked working with my hands. I liked working in the outside elements, and that was a big factor for me to do that. So that's probably the biggest reason I like just working outside instead of being an office person. My training, I went to school for 4 years for 8 weeks at a time to learn my job through MedEd at the time. And now, if you get hired to work in our department, you would go in and you would go for 2 years straight and get an associate's degree with that at the local community college. And then you would also do some of the training that we did in between getting your associate's degree and working on your job specs inside the company. Again, what I really like about my job is being outside, working with my hands, not being tied to a computer, and the people I work with. I work with a great group of people, and that makes it all the better. And I do a lot to help the community. I feel that's what we do. Some of the challenges that we face day in and day out is it can be dangerous because I do work with high voltage. some of the areas that I have to work. Like if I have to go into a manhole in the city, all the power wires are right next to you, so they're very close to you. So it could be a dangerous job, and the weather at times can be very challenging, whether it be snowing or raining or very, very cold or very, very hot. So that's the challenging parts of our job, or working out of a bucket truck in the air, where you're not stationed on the ground or working off of a ladder to try to repair things. Those are the challenges that I face daily, but that's the things that I like about my job. And the people that I work with, again, they are such a good group of people. They are my superheroes. They are my co-workers, but we're also like a family. There's like 15 of us in our department, and I do enjoy working with them every day, and it's a lot of fun. We do have a good time, but we also have to take our job very serious, and that's what I do. And I just want to thank my niece for asking me to do this, and from my family to your family, I hope everybody's safe and healthy. Thank you.
Good morning. So these are transformers in a substation that I work in. This particular substation has 2 transformers in it. And as I keep spanning along here, inside these doors are breakers. Just like you would have smaller breakers in your house in a panel box, these basically do the same thing but on a much larger scale. And the transformers, what they do is they get power coming into it at a very high voltage and drop it down to a lower voltage so that you can have power at your house, so you can turn on lights and have your refrigerator running or watch TV. All the power that you need to your house comes from essentially this substation in particular feeds Southside Easton. Okay, so when the power leaves the substation from going onto the power lines, it comes to this smaller transformer near your home, and that's what takes it down to the voltage that you can use in your house. So you have big transformers at the substation going to breakers, and then from breakers to smaller transformers around your house. And again, this is what can operate the equipment and all the electronics in your house.
Hi, my name is Neil. I'm a residential automated side load garbage truck driver. I drive for County Waste in upstate New York. My job responsibilities is servicing about 450 customers per day. I pick up both the trash and the recycling. I chose this profession because I get to be a part of my community. I happen to drive a route that I live on, so I pick up my own garbage. And I've always just kind of enjoyed driving. It doesn't always feel like work, so I just kind of get to drive around all day. There is no specific training for the job. I do have an associate's degree and military background. The only thing required is that you maintain a commercial driver's license and a DOT physical. Other than that, there's no specific training. All the training is on the job. What I like most about the job is there's a lot of freedom. You get to start when you want. You kind of make your own schedule. As long as you complete your route by the end of the day, you don't really have to answer to anyone. You're your own boss out here. You just get to start as long as you make the dump before they close. That's kind of all you have to do. So it's nice. You get a little bit of freedom, flexibility in your schedule to do that. The challenges of the job would then be starting early. I'm not a morning person. Like I kind of just said a minute ago, the dumps close about 3 p.m. so you have to start your day early enough to make it to the dump by 3. So some of us are waking up as early as 3 a.m. to be on the road by 4 a.m. And that's definitely one of the most challenging parts of the job. I'm not a morning person. I'd prefer to sleep in, but it's nice to get home early too. What I would like everyone to know about the superheroes that I work with is that they're all people, and most of us have families. It is a steady job with good benefits, and it's a good way to provide for a family. Everyone's just kind of trying to do their thing and get home safe to see their families at the end of the day. That's it.